Breaking news! The Bears management faces a critical crossroads with the number 10 pick that no one sees coming. As an insider reveals a shocking twist towards the secondary that threatens a current starter, the most explosive running back in the country sends unmistakable signals to Chicago that could change everything. Ryan Poles is against the wall with experts divided on which path to take. This exclusive trilogy of decisions will determine if the Bears rise or sink. If you're a true fan, you can't miss these revelations that no one else has. The decision that could change the fate of the Chicago Bears is right in front of us. The draft is approaching, and the options are fascinating. A cornerback? A running back? The best available regardless of position? Let me be completely direct with you. An insider has just shaken up the entire draft landscape for the Bears by suggesting something few of us are considering, using the number 10 pick to bolster our secondary. Why? Because there are serious concerns about Tyreek Stevenson. And it's not just me saying this. It's Adam Jans from The Athletic. Should cornerback be our priority? I think it totally depends on how they evaluate Stevenson internally. We've got Jalen Johnson solidified as our CB1 and Kyler Gordon shining in the slot. The problem is Stevenson and his inconsistent performance. The Hail Mary debacle is not something that just gets forgotten, folks. That kind of mental error haunts a player and an organization. I'm telling you this, if the Bears are seriously considering taking Will Johnson from Michigan or Jahdae Barron from Texas, it's because the doubts about Stevenson run much deeper than we've been told publicly. Johnson has the potential to be special, a true closer on one side of the field like Peanut Tillman was for us. Barron is coming off an extraordinary season, with 5 interceptions leading the SEC and the prestigious Jim Thorpe Award. Either of them would transform our secondary into one of the most dangerous in the league. Ask you, wouldn't it be intimidating to see Johnson, Gordon, and one of these rookies forming a trio that would remind us of the great defensive days of Chicago? Imagine the turnovers they could generate with the front pressure from Odeyingbo and Jarrett. But there's another story unfolding before our eyes that could be just as impactful. Ashton Jeanty, the Boise State running back who finished second in the Heisman voting, is sending clear signals to the Chicago management, and he's doing it smartly. Jeanty liked a post about Eric Bieniemy, our new running backs coach. The post specifically talked about Bieniemy's intensity and how he disciplined none other than Adrian Peterson. I think this is no coincidence. It's a direct message. I'm ready to be pushed to the highest level. Why is this relevant? Because the recent additions of Dalman, Thuney, and Jackson on the offensive line allow us to seriously think about an elite running back. Ben Johnson saw firsthand what Jahmyr Gibbs did for the Lions when they picked him in the first round. I'm telling you, Jeanty could have a similar or even greater impact in Chicago. I ask you, isn't it intriguing that a player of his caliber is following so closely what's happening with our coaching staff? This speaks to his mindset, his professionalism, his desire to be part of what we're building. But all this leads us to the central dilemma facing Ryan Poles. Pick the best player available or address our most urgent need. This is the million-dollar question. Mike Tannenbaum of ESPN projects that Mason Graham, considered the best defensive tackle in this draft, could be available for us at pick 10. Graham is ranked as the 4th best overall prospect by PFF, the 33rd team, and NFL.com. He's a 6'3", 320-pound monster. I think taking Graham would be the perfect example of picking the best player available. But do we really need another defensive tackle when we already have Jarrett, Dexter, Billings, and Williams? It's a position where we're relatively well covered. On the other hand, Sports Illustrated projects us picking Armin Membu, the offensive tackle from Missouri, who impressed everyone at the Combine. Mel Kiper Jr. suggests linebacker Michael Williams from Georgia. And PFF predicts Jeanty will be available for us at pick 10. I ask you, what would you prefer? A cornerback who could solidify our secondary? An explosive running back who would transform our ground attack? Or simply take the best talent available regardless of position? What is clear is that Ryan Poles faces a critical decision. What he does in this draft could define the success of the Bears for the coming years. What we saw with the Eagles, Dodgers, and Celtics is that even champions have needs to address. I'm telling you this. The difference between a good team and a championship team is the ability to find the perfect balance between pure talent and specific needs. It's finding that player who not only fills a gap on the roster, but elevates the game of everyone around them. The Bears have gaps in several key positions. The offensive line could still improve, especially at tackle. We need a dominant running back. We could use another productive tight end. And yes, maybe another cornerback to solidify the secondary. The final decision will depend on how Poles and Johnson evaluate the available talent against their own priorities. But one thing is clear, the clock is ticking. The future of our franchise could depend on this pick. I believe that. At the end of the day, the right decision will be the one that best positions the Bears to compete not just in 2025, but in the coming years. It's not just about filling an immediate gap. It's about building a sustainable and balanced roster that can bring Chicago back to glory. I ask you, which direction would you go with the number 10 pick? Cornerback? Running back? Offensive line? Or simply the best player available? The answer to that question could define the future of the Chicago Bears for many years. Can you imagine Will Johnson forming a lethal duo with Jalen Johnson in our secondary? Or would you prefer to see Ashton Jeanty exploiting holes created by our revamped offensive line? Your opinion counts. Let me know in the comments which direction Ryan Poles should take. The draft decision will not only affect this season, but the entire future of our franchise. Best talent available or greatest need? This debate deserves your voice. Share your analysis and be part of the conversation that the entire Bears fan base is having today. If you want to keep receiving the most exclusive news about the Chicago Bears before anyone else, subscribe to this channel now. We are a family, we are a community, and together we will live every moment of our team. Like this video, activate the bell, and join Bears Nation. See you in the next analysis, and bear down.